Welcome to the Tab and Dillard podcast, y'all guys. I almost didn't blink there for a little bit, kind of make sure, you know, if you keep your eyes open too long, and then the air. I don't know the whole science behind it, but the air hit them eyeballs and it just start to kind of burn. It's like you got to blink. I mean, that's why we got eyelids, the way I see it. Anyhow, we got through that. Welcome to the Tab and Dillard podcast, y'all guys. I'm Tab and Dillard. And this is the Tab and Dillard podcast. It's like a radio show. It's for your ears to listen to. But if you're watching this on the YouTubes, you can see me looking at the camera and saying everything that you hearing. Kind of that's how it works. We into season 5s. We into episodes. I think this is episodes 4 now is where we at. And so that's how that go. And there is plenty going on. You know, Thanksgiving comes and went. Hello, Decembers. How's your Decembers going? We into the merry month of Decembers. Let me look at here. If you are watching this or listening to this on the day it came out, then we're looking at December 6th, right? That's what today is. So, first week of December's. Now, some folks get a hold of a podcast and like an episode like that away, and they listen to it later, and they're like, well, I was listening to this, you know, you showed it up, you know, in December's, but it was May before I got around to it. So I'm just telling you where I'm at today. Now, when you listening, I do not know where you at, but today I'm in December's, and I hope yours is going good. A lot to talk about today. Well, you know what happens after Thanksgivings, the Black Fridays. My town was no different than your town. There's the Black Friday sales, all kinds of places. I'll get into it in a minute. But I'll let you know right now, folks have been interested in buying gifts for folks for the Christmas times or whatever's. Maybe you got birthdays this month too. And we got things going. I got the new Donut Gold shirt on. I'm wearing the new Donut Gold shirt right now. I feel like I got more. I can move, you know, I'm limber. I can move my arms out this because what the shirt has, it's got armholes and a neck hole, and my head's through the neck part and my arms through the arm part, and I can move around. You know, if I drop something, I can pick it up. There's something up high, I can reach up high, and I got the strength from the donuts, but on my shirt is just the name of the Donut Ghost. You don't eat the shirt, you wear it, but you're saying, hey, I ain't opposed to going somewhere and finding a donut and eating it, putting a hurting on it kind of thing. So we got that in the show notes today. You'll see the link to all the shirts. I got the new Tavin's Lawn Care Services hat on. I got the shirt too, but I got the hat on right now. Mowing, edging, grass cutting legend. Tavin's Lawn Care Services. That's down there too in the show notes today. Of course, I do personal greetings. Wish folks happy Christmas or Merry Christmas, happy birthday, that kind of thing. And this time of year, folks want it more than other times of years, you know, for the gift giving. So if you want one for Christmas for somebody, December 17th is kind of like the cutoff date, so that I can get it, you know, shot and sent to you over the interweb. It's what they call a digital thing, where you download that video and then you can post it and share it however you want to do that. For me saying Merry Christmas, you know, to your Memaw or whoever you got that you like them well enough to buy a gift for, kind of thing. So that's in the show notes too, the link to the personal greetings, and of course some food. We can't talk about December's without talking about food. Tavin's honey from bees, bee house honey. You can get that in the show notes. You know, and folks, this year they get them winter. They get the little. They get the. You know, they get the scratchy throat. They get them winter colds kind of thing. And that honey, that's good. You know, some of that hot tea, or I don't know, maybe just eat a spoonful of honey. You know how you are. But anyhow, there's a link to the Tavin's honey from bees in the show notes today, and Tavin's bag of bacon. Now, last week, if you watched the video or you heard it, I had the bacon bag with me. Well, right now, today, I finished the popcorn bacon, the little bits of bacon at the bag, in my last bag of Tavin's bacon bag. So I got more on the way to the trailer this week, and Bacon Boys is shipping it out. And, you know, if you need some for a gift or whatever, it's time to do that. Wonderful flavor. It's bacon in a bag, Tavin's bacon bag. Link in the show notes today. Well, what in the world else could you fit in them show notes, you asking, Tab? What else in the world could you fit in them show notes today? Well, other than the new shirts, you know, and old shirts, all my shirts and hats are there. I got the Donut Gold shirt on today. And then other than the personal greetings and Tavin's honey from bees and Tavin's bag of bacon, got my phone number. You can shoot me a text whenever you feel like it, 501-322-6249, like out of way. tabandillard@gmail.com. Somebody texted me, now this is probably a month or so back, because sometimes I'll put the phone number up on the Instagrams and say, hey, text me. And then folks start texting me. Well, somebody texted me, and I think they're afraid that it's a robot, or I don't know what they're afraid of. Maybe they wasn't afraid of nothing. I'm just speculating because I never got to talk to them. But they shot me a text. And, then by the time I got to it, I could tell them they text, is this really tabbing? What have I done? I don't remember what, but I couldn't even respond to the text because it was deleted. They were not part of my contact list no more. Like, they came and went real quick, like, because they didn't know, hey, is this really you tapping? And I get that. They wonder, hey, am I getting snookered here? Am I getting hoodwinked over here, kind of thing? But no, I try to text everybody back, whether if I can, and I get quite a few texts, but it's really me. I can't afford no robot, and so if you don't get a text back, I just must have overlooked it. But I try to text. It is me. So if you want to shoot me a text, 501-322-6249, and then appreciate y'all rating it. We over 500 ratings on like the Apple podcast, the iTunes, whatever they call it. So that's been fun to see that grow and people leaving comments. Mainly, the only way I know what folks think of the podcast, because it's not like, you leave comments under videos like on the social medias. It's like they leave a comment on the iTunes, or they message me, usually on the Instagrams. But the other way is, they text me feedback, so that's helpful to know. Like, hey, man, I like that old podcast you got there. And then also the email, tabandillard@gmail.com. That's going to be in the show notes today, too. So all of that in the show notes. Basically, that's the after party. When you done running errands, walking your dog, chasing down the cows, putting sheep in the pen, I don't know what you do in your day, filing paper at the bank, licking your thumb, making sure they in the manila folders and in them file cabinets. Is that how they do that? I ain't a banker. So whatever you get done doing today, maybe you grocery shopping and listen to the podcast, or you riding in a car, or maybe you on a family road trip, and you just want nobody to talk and say, just be quiet. We listen to this podcast. Tab and talking about us right now on this road trip. So just listen here. Y'all kids, don't touch each other. Hands to yourself, kind of thing. After you done with all that, and after you listen to this episode, the after party is clicking on them links in the show notes and checking out all that stuff and saying, well, maybe I do want to see what that shirt looked like, or that jar of honey, or that bag of bacon, or maybe I just send Tavin a text and say, hey, I survived a family road trip. Can you just give me a virtual high five? And I do that. So that's how that go. But we into this, I'm telling you, here's the deal. After the Thanksgiving is that Black Friday sale. And like I said, our town ain't no different. Guthrie's Hunting Supply, they's running a sale. Maggie's Flowers, they's running a sale. Bud didn't really do it. Like the food places, they don't really do it. They just say, hey, now the peppermint, milkshake is in season, kind of thing. But it ain't like a sale. It's just like, now we got this for you. But them other shops, in town, Donut Goals did run a sale. I'll get more into that in a second. And then Uptown Gal, that's Mort Dwightell's wife's store, women's clothing store, they had a sale. And Memaw got wind that they was doing a sale on Creased Breeches for so many. I mean, they didn't have Creased Breeches for a little while. I mean, if you had to go to the outlet malls or to the Walmarts, and they having a Black Friday sale too, of course, Walmart's was. But they got some Creased Breeches instead of just them yoga pants, because Memaw, she ain't gonna do them yoga pants. I mean, she moo-moo, and if she could find something, where she can be a little more active in, a pair of Creased Breeches, if she need to do, I don't know, chop some wood or whatever Memaw feel like doing. Anyway, whatever it was, I don't know if it's a commercial, but whatever piqued her interest, that she wanted herself a pair of Creased Breeches, and that Uptown Gal had them things, but they only had 15 available at a certain price. So you got to be one of the first people to 50, limit 2. So you can't be the first in line and buy all 15 pairs of Creased Breeches. That's how that go. So Donna Glenda, yeah, that's Mort Dwightell's wife's name. I mean, she got two names, Donna and Glenda. She named after her mama and her granny, and depending on who she ain't mad at that day, that's the name she go by. So Donna is her mama's name, and Glenda is her granny. And so if she mad at her mama Donna, she'll tell people, I'm Glenda Dwightell. But then if she mad, at her mama, she married her granny than she Donna Dwidell. That's why I say it like that. So Donna Glenda, anyhow, she doing this thing, and she decided they gonna open their doors on Black Fridays at Uptown Gal at the 4 a.m. I couldn't believe that. Now I heard about that stuff before. Folks get up at all kind of hours. I'm like, I ain't got no reason to do that. You know, ain't nothing you selling that bad kind of thing. I got bacon in my fridge kind of thing, so I don't need to rush anywhere. But anyhow, my Memaw, she had other plans. And so when Memaw want to do something, what you gonna do about that? So when I wake up to her kicking my bed frame, you know, like 3:04 in the morning on that Friday, what else do I do but drive her into town in her 91 Buick Regal? And we ain't 2 miles from anywhere that she want to go on Black Friday morning. But I'm driving her there, and the thing about this, Donut Goes, they opened at 3. Cheryl Grubbs opened at 3 because she knew these shops in town was open at 4. She's like, well, we going to get in there at 3. Folks can come by there, get their donut and coffee or whatever kind of thing, and then hit them shopping. Oh, my goodness. Well, Memaw heard about that, and so she wanted to go get a donut. Now, there wasn't no Black Friday sale for somebody like Memaw that just want one donut and one cup of coffee. But the sale they had going on was 16. Now, you know how a dozen donuts is like 12 is what they call it? And then they was giving you 16 for the price of 12. So quick remedial math is going to tell you that's 4 donuts for free, basically. That's the sale that Donut Goes was doing. Now, my Memaw, she wasn't about to buy 16 donuts, and she's just going to buy one, and she's going to get a coffee kind of thing. And they also got hot cider down there at Donut Goes. You probably heard about that. Who don't want hot cider early in the morning on a shopping day? I can name one possum that don't. If you ain't heard that story, you can go back to season 4 of the podcast, episode 11. You can hear all about that with Cheryl Grubbs. But that was down there at Donut Goes. So we get down there. I mean, it ain't too long after 3 o'clock, and we get in there, and Delma Spencer's already in there with her slew of kiddos. She got 7 or 8 kids, and they little, you know, not too big. Got a stepson that's a little older. He's 11 or 12, old enough to get his whole arm stuck in the vending machine at Rickard's grocery store. But that's a different story too. So we get down there. Them kids are running in. One of them kids, Delma's, showed up at 3 in the morning holding a container of peanut butter, just steady scooping out, just eating handfuls of peanut butter, and then looking at the donuts, and they running all over the place. And Delma's like, I heard y'all had a deal, with the 4 free donuts kind of thing. And Cheryl's like, yeah, it's 16 donuts, and then but for the price of a dozen. She goes, well, I don't need all that. She goes, I just need the 4 free ones, and then my babies is going to share it kind of thing. Well, Cheryl Grubbs is like, that ain't how it working. All the while, that little kiddo with peanut butter hands is on that display case, just kind of bank, like steady, staring down them donuts, and then dragging that hand across the case, just a messy peanut butter hand all across that donut display case, 3 in the morning. Memaw and me are behind Delma Spencer. I'm tired, y'all guys. I ain't said nothing to Delma yet. And Memaw focused. This is the deal with Memaw. Creased britches is what she's after. That's the goal. It ain't a coffee, and it ain't a donut. So she looking to Creased britches. She's thinking, I got to get to Uptown Gal. I got to get in that line, and there ain't going to be no peace till I get in that line, and I know that I'm going to be able to get a pair of them Creased britches at the discounted rate. So Memaw, she ain't about to start a fight or nothing. She kind of docile, but she's steady focused. She laser focused. And so I'm like, well, Memaw, I'm getting apple frittler, and I'm just going to stay in the apple family. I'm going to get some hot apple cider. That's what I'm going to do. And you can eat that thing all day long. The way they make a frittler is that you just break off a little paste, and you have a little niblet here, a little niblet there, and you play your cards right. You got breakfast and lunch like that away. So that's what I was, but we wasn't up to the front yet because Delma Spencer's in there, and she goes, no, I don't want that deal, Cheryl. I want the 4 free ones like you advertised. And Cheryl's like, that ain't what we advertised. I'm telling you right now, you get 4 free ones if you buy 12. That's how that go. And Delma's like, well, what are we going to do now? And Cheryl's like, well, I guess you're going to go home or go somewhere else. And Delma's like, look back at me and Memaw, and I'm just standing there. I'm like, you ain't gonna pull me into this kind of thing. And Delma said, you don't want me to hold up the line, do you? You're holding up the line. You just give me the 4 donuts and we'll be gone. And her kids are running everywhere. It's getting louder, more chaotic. It's like Delma got a plan here Well, Cheryl Grubbs is like, looks like you holding up the line, Delma. And she reached back there, she get paper towels, and she hand that to Delma, and she get glass cleaner, and she goes, here's what you got. You get this stuff cleaned up, and then if you want 4 donuts, you can buy 4 donuts. You got to bring your money. If you ain't here to buy anything, clean up my display case and scooch on out of here kind of thing. Delma didn't expect that. Delma did not expect that, because the way that go is that Delma usually makes such a mess. She created the chaos. She got Kevin Rickard handing her free ice cream after she threw bloody stubby kids' teeth in the freezer section of Rickard's grocery store because she told them the tooth fairy lived there. And so she got these ways of doing stuff at stores where they're like, okay, Delma, just take this and don't come back kind of thing. That's the best I ever seen anybody handle Delma Spencer. Cheryl Grubbs. 3:04 in the morning at Donut Goes, Black Friday kind of thing. Delma didn't know what to do, so she starts spitting, squirt, 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 squirt. I don't know if she was just mad out of spite. She's going to use all Cheryl Grubbs' glass cleaner. I don't think Cheryl cared none as long as it got cleaned up kind of thing. So we get up there, I get that Frittler, and I get that apple cider. Memaw, black coffee, just plain black coffee glazed donut. She wasn't thinking about nothing creative. I'm like thinking, we go through all this, Memaw, to get up at, so early in the morning, get down here in 91 Buick Regal, park it in front of Donut Goals, get in this store, and we ain't gonna have any fun with this? You ain't gonna get like some fun fancy Christmas icing or, chocolate bar, nothing like that? She went straight glaze, straight black coffee. I mean, business time. Boom, paid. We got out of there. Memaw didn't say a word to Delma Spencer. I mean, it's a world record kind of thing. So I'm driving down there. I mean, if Uptown Gal is a mile from Donut Goes, it ain't much more than a mile. And at 3:45 or whatever in the morning, I mean, we was at Donut Goes longer than you would have thought. We were there a minute. But the traffic from Donut Goes at 3:45 in the morning to Uptown Gal, I mean, you looking maybe at a minute, maybe a minute 15, I don't know, something like that. Maybe, and that's if I'm just going 35 miles an hour through town. So we get over there because we were going faster than 35 because Memaw, she's like, we got to get in that line, them creased britches, because the whole thing's like, I mean, we don't get them creased britches. I'm thinking that's the whole reason she up at 0 dark 30 kind of thing. And now all of a sudden, if she don't get that, I mean, what's the rest of this day? I don't want to think about it. So we get over there. If you just go west about 4 blocks on Main Street, and then you take a right on what used to be the original Main Street, but they call it Front Street because it's the front of town, I guess. I like them kind of names. Front Street, First Street, Second Street. It's like you ain't got to think too hard about it. So we get over there and we turn on the old Main Street, which is the new Front Street, and you go down there and there's some old shops and Uptown Gals in one of them old spaces. And they got a little parking kind of across the street a little bit. And on that side, there ain't much parking, a little bit in the back, but a lot of employees park back there. I wasn't going to mess with that, not on Black Friday. So there's already a line. So Memaw she getting a little more, and she goes, just let me out. She inhaled that glazed donut. So all she had was her handbag and then that black coffee. She got out and she shuffled over to the line. Well, I get over that parking lot, and I'm in that 91 Buick Regal. Boy, that thing rides like a boat. And I'm thinking, what business do I have? Memaw got her money. She know what she want. She don't need me to help her with nothing in there. I got no business in Uptown Gal. So I just kind of recline, turn off the car there, and I don't know what we getting close to 4, because that's when that thing opened. And I just go sleep. I mean, what else you gonna do? 4 in the morning, pitch dark, quiet car, reclined. I mean, I didn't have no shopping to do. I nibbled on that Frittler. I still had a little cider left, but I wasn't going to make it. It wasn't my goal to finish that Frittler before 4:13 or nothing like that. So I just leaned back and I fall asleep. There ain't no 2 ways about it. I was in dead sleep, buddy. I mean, nothing you could do, but that's snoozeville. Dreams and everything. You start snoozing and then everything kind of just tangle, like you so relaxed, your body tingle like it don't even know it could be that relaxed. One of them. I know. That's a good start to the Black Friday. Meanwhile, inside Uptown Gal, Memaw's in line and she nervous because she see that line. She trying to count. Okay, David. And then you got to think, well, is everybody here for creased britches? Or are they here for other sales that Uptown Gal's doing too? And you just don't know. So there's a lot of wild cards in there. Well, Memaw get in there and they open the doors, and people kind of just can't get in and filter their way through. Now Memaw's looking. I don't know how Mabel Childers got there so quick, and if you know anything about Mabel, her and Memaw do not get along. They in the same water aerobics class. They both pretty much got crushes on Coach Hicks. D.W. Hicks, he's my high school PE coach. He ran to Long John Silver's in the county next over. In high school he had a double cab truck with air conditioning in it. So he working them 2 jobs, and he ain't afraid to work. That's why he had lifeguards at the city pool now. He ain't a teacher no more. He don't run no Long John Silver's, but he got a boxing gym in town, Thunder Punch. Coach Hicks run that. Well, anyways, Mabel and Memaw take them aerobics class in the water in the summer times from Coach Hicks. And they run into each other at Walmart. Mabel would just mouth off. Mabel know how to push Memaw's button, and Memaw know how to push Mabel down. So that's how that goes. So they got that going on. Mabel's already in there, unknown to Memaw. Mabel's in the dressing room, trying on a pair of creased breeches. Well, Memaw runs over. She gets over to that little display with the creased breeches, the 15 pair they had at a certain price, like I think is 10% off or something like that. And so she looking through them, and now her problem is, okay, the creased breeches are here, but is my size here? She didn't find no size that's gonna fit her. And by that time, the dressing room door opened up, and out comes Mabel Childers holding a pair of creased breeches and a cinnamon roll. Don't ask me how that worked. I don't know where she got that. They don't sell them at Donut Goes. And Mabel was not happy. Like, I guess she tried on them creased breeches, and maybe she had too many cinnamon rolls this year because they didn't fit. They too snug. And I kid you not, she took the breeches, the pant-legged and breeches. She wiped cinnamon roll icing off her face, and she tossed that pair of creased breeches onto a shelf like it's a pile of laundry. And she's like, well, this was a waste of time kind of thing. And she shuffled out of there like that away. Well, Memaw, I mean, good on her. She didn't start a fight with Delma Spencer and Donut Goals, and she didn't care nothing about gabbing it up with Mabel Childers over at Uptown Gal. She just go over to that pair of creased breeches that Mabel just discarded and wiped her mouth on with cinnamon roll icing. She go into the dressing room. Memaw tried them on, and they fit. So now Memaw, she get out of them, she got them back on, how you drape them over your arm, like you got your arm out like you a butler, and then you drape them pants breeches over there like that away, like, hello, do tell, I behoove thee, I have a pair of creased breeches. I don't know how butlers talk, but that's probably kind of how they do that. So she get up to the front and she talked to Donna Glenda. She goes, hey, here's the deal, Donna Glenda. I got these pair of creased breeches. I'm one of the first 15. I'm going to get that 10% off. And she goes, sure enough are. She goes, well, Mabel Childers just left the dressing room with these. She didn't want them. They didn't fit her. They's too snug or something. I don't know all the details, but I know she didn't like it. And she wiped a pair, just a face full of cinnamon roll icing on the pant leg of these creased breeches. And I'm going to see what you can do for me. And Donna Glenda looked at them. She looked at them pair of creased breeches, and she shook her head. She goes, Mabel Childers, I can't believe her. And she goes, well, you right, Memaw. I'm gonna mark this down another 5%. So Memaw leaving Uptown Gal with a 15% markdown on the pair of creased breeches she wants, but now she's gonna have to get back to the trailer park and get them in the washing machine, because she don't want Mabel's mouth germs all over her pant leg with that cinnamon roll ice and all stuff like that away. So I mean, we not even to 4:30 yet. Maybe we at 4:29 in the morning. And Memaw looking around for me. She thinking, I guess I'm just steady on standby, like ready to zip to the front of Uptown Gal when she step out, and I'm gonna pick her up, like a chauffeur, like she carrying them pants like a butler, and then I'm her chauffeur, like the butler got a chauffeur. I don't know, but I ain't there, because y'all guys know by now I'm steady sleeping. I'm reclined in a 91 Buick Regal in the parking lot, just kind of across the ways there from Uptown Gal. I'm just out, buddy. Deep sleep, dreams and all kind of thing. So I wake up to Memaw peeking her head in the passenger side of the Buick Regal. 4:29 in the morning, I just hear, "Are you dead? Tavin, are you dead?" And I woke up kind of thing, because I guess, if you don't, then you right. You dead. But I had to tell her, I said, Memaw, I ain't dead. I was sleeping, that's how that go. And she's like, well, I thought you was dead. You didn't move or say nothing. I'm like, well, I was asleep. I'm moving or saying something now kind of thing. And I said, what's next? Did you get them? You know, she told me, she goes, I got the pair of creased breeches, but Mabel Childers in there, wipe her face on them. And none of that quite made sense, but it didn't need to. I just needed to say, okay. You know, like I agree with her that happened. Like I take your word for all this, Memaw. I do not have an eyewitness account myself, so you need to do something. She goes, we got to get home. I was like, is that it? You done Black Friday shopping? She goes, that's all I need. That's all I got what I did. Like the whole day was a win. Like the sun ain't come up. And Memaw has already conquered this day. She's going back to the trailer. We're going back to Chancellor Park. She's going to put them in her washing machine. She's going to wash them new creased breeches. And then she's going to dry them things. And she's steady going to be wearing them all December. It's probably headed to the New Year kind of thing. I mean, she's real excited about them. I don't know how they're going to fit because I don't care, you know. But she liked them. She got them. And I had that apple frittler. I saved the rest when I got back to the trailer, took a little nap on couch, and that was my lunch too. You know, so my Black Friday, I mean, if we talking about good sales, I didn't get no discount, except I still am getting free cider from Cheryl Grubbs. If you want to know how I got free cider, you know, indefinitely. I don't know how long she's going to let that deal go for me. You can listen to season 4, episode 11 of the podcast, and you'll know how that came about. So I basically got apple frittler and apple cider for the price of one frittler, and that's my breakfast, and turned out is my lunch too. So hey, if that ain't a good day, I don't know what is, kind of thing. That's a lot going on though. That's the Black Friday sale. We got through that. And now we're getting ready for all kinds. I mean, every weekend, you know how it is. There's food, there's parties, there's potlucks, there's events every weekend going on. Whether it's your friends throwing them or the town's throwing them, some sort of a parade or stuff going on at the nursing home coming up. I mean, it is a hoot. I need the strength from the bacon and the donuts and the cabin's honey from bees to keep tackling this beautiful season of the year. But I got to tell y'all guys, you know, we getting close to the end of 2022, heading into 2023. I'll put another link in the show notes today too for you for the 2023 fabric calendar. It's a fabric calendar. Do I have one? I don't see one. And it's, you know, 8.5 by 11, but it's fabric, and you'll see it. I mean, it's on. You check out the show notes, you see a picture of it. Put that there so keep up with dates in 2023. But y'all, I appreciate y'all being part of this. You know, listening to podcasts, it's like a radio show. It really is. I mean, it's just like a radio show because you listen to it with your ears, and y'all listening means I ain't talking to myself, and I think that's a win. So I appreciate that. If y'all could rate this, if you listen on iTunes or wherever you listen to the platform, if there's ratings, if you could rate it, leave me a comment or let me know what you think. You know, you can shoot me a text, send me an email, leave a comment on one of my videos on the interwebs. If you're watching this video, you can see me right now. I'm moving my hands. I'm moving my hands by my face like this way and like that way. Then you could leave a comment here on the YouTubes as well. So again, there's a lot going on, and there's a lot coming up on the Tab and Dillard podcast. Got a very special Christmas podcast coming up the week of Christmas, and so that's around the corner too. And check the show notes today for all the Christmas shopping you might need. There's one other thing I was going to put. Oh, live shows. Folks ask me, when are you coming to my state? Are you coming here? Are you coming there to do a live show? You can email me if you know a venue or somebody got an event where they want me to do a live performance, and then we can get that handled. And as shows get lined up, then I can promote them. If one of them's in your state or your town or whatever kind of thing, I sure hope to see you there. So that's how that goes. I'll tell you that right now. But here's the other thing before we go. If you ain't had to clean peanut butter off a donut display case this week at 4 in the morning, actually 3:04, between 3:04 and 3:15 in the morning, or been woke up in the parking lot at 4:29 a.m., pitch dark out with your Memaw leaning in, asking if you dead, you having a pretty good week. Thanks for joining me on the Tab and Dillard podcast. By the way, I'm Tab and Dillard. We'll see you later.